There are times when the data we use is non-normal, and yet we can still make comparisons. But the mean does not represent the central tendency, the median does. And that's why you'll hear people discussing the median price of a home in LA versus the median price of a home in Chicago, or the median wages at a certain company versus another. The reason they're using median is that the mean no longer represents the central tendency because they have outliers. And so we use the median. And in chapter 12 is discussion on the Wilcoxon procedure, and I'm going to demonstrate that here on Excel and then later real quickly onto PHStat. So we use Wilcoxon procedure whenever we have non-normal data and yet we want to make a comparison of the central tendency of two data sets. And so the Wilcoxon procedure is used. Now let me go and get a data set for that example problem on page 451, and we'll use that one for the example I'm going to use here. So let me go to the file and open COLA. I may already have this data on my sheet, but I'm going through the motions here to show you how we get it. There is the data there. Let me put this in. It should be already run on top of it. Okay, fine. Now to use this template that I've drawn here, you would copy what you want the title of each data point to be. So we're going to have data points that are associated with beverage. I'll paste that right there in E1, and then I'll take the other one and put it in E2, and I need to put them there because that is how this calculation down in here is set up to take the name of that data set from there. Okay, now I need to put the data in, and on this one here I do not have the ranks of the data, how each individual value ranks among all the other values. Sometimes in your problems you'll be given the rank, and when you do, you don't need column B. Column B is when you're given data but no rank, and you have to calculate the rank. And you don't need column B if you're given the rank. You just put the rank in column C. Alright, so now let's put the data in then for beverage into column B, because that's raw data. It goes into column B, and I need to put the title for that data set in here, which is beverage, and that data set went that far. Oops, a little bit farther. I went to here. Okay, so I have beverage next to each data point. That came from the beverage. Now I take produce, do the same thing. Copy the data. Get over here. There it is. And I'm going to produce is going to be my label for each of these data points. I paste that in, copy it down, a little farther. Okay, so now I have each of the data points labeled produce or beverage. Now what I need to do is calculate the rank, and I use column C for calculating the rank. And like I say, sometimes the problem, they'll give you C, the rank, and you don't have to fill in B at all. So to get the rank calculated, we type in equals RAN, and we get rank right there. I want rank average, and rank average. Now rank average asks me to say, well, what's the X value I'm using? And I put that in our column, and then this is the whole data set. That's next, which is called REF in this example. And I got that highlighted, but I also have to change that to a absolute number. Let me see if I can get that done. I go there, highlight that. I press function F4. If I don't do this, I get the problem wrong. Okay, you have to have function. You have to convert that middle value. The last one is a 1 all the time. Just put a 1 there. Equal enter. And then you copy this down. Double clicking there. And I copied it down. And now what I have to do here is go to these 4 values here and put in new titles for whatever's there. Right now it says cal. I'm going to change that to I'm going to change that to beverage. There's beverage. Enter. And then I have to change this one to beverage. Beverage. Enter. And this one here will be changed also, both of them, to beverage. If I type it wrong, I get the problem wrong. Actually, I'll get an error message down in there that shows me I typed something in wrong. Alright, we put in the last beverage. Enter. That's it. It's done. Now let's compare it to the book and make sure in the book. And it does look correct. The book says reject the null, and the p-value is 0.01 something, and we have 0.01 something, so we've got it done. Now, to do this, so that is how you do it, and I'm going to save this for you, and you can use the template. But remember some of the steps I went through. First, I copied the data set over here somewhere, getting it out of the way. Then I put in my titles here, because these formulas in here depend on those titles. I put the titles in, the data in here, then I loaded it in with each data point having a name to it, all the way down through. Then I calculated the rank, making sure that in that middle value for the rank formula that I converted it by hitting function F4, converted it to the $sign format, which makes it an absolute, doesn't copy down. And then I copy the whole thing down. I change the names of these formulas in here to the correct title, beverage or produce in this case. And when I push the button, once I get to here, it's done. And it calculates it all out and tells us what to do. And in this case, it says reject the null. All right. So if I was going to do this in phstat, let me go and see if I can find that cola file. That Cabernet? That's Cabernet. I don't want that one. Here's the cola file here. Let's just do on a phstat. So we go to add-ins, phstat. That's a 2-sample test with unsummarized data. We want the Wilcoxon rank sum tests. Our level of significance is 0.05. I am going to put in the first column of data, beverage. There, put in the second column of data here. And I'll do a 2-tailed test, hit OK. And there it is. Reject the null, same numbers as I got on my Excel template. So that's how we do the Wilcoxon. You're going to have 2 or 3 problems on that. Remember that sometimes when you're using Excel, sometimes you'll get the lever, you'll get the rank, and you'll put that column C directly and leave column B blank. Sometimes you will get the data and you'll have to calculate the rank. So I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, of course, you can always bring them to me. Thank you.